Okay, so here we are, we're back here the next day now, and this has been filled in, and you watched how I did that, and I kind of went through now and I made sure that I'm square, and I am square, and I checked it the long way too with my straight edge, just to be sure. You just don't want any humps or anything in here, so you want to make sure that you check it, and if you need to add more, add more. And I actually did go over this one more time and I put another coat on. One of the things that you can do too is if you need to have a 1/4 inch or 3/8 of an inch, you could have just did it with the trowel, left the ridges from the trowel, the track that it leaves, let that dry overnight, or for half the day, come back, fill over the top of that, and now you actually have your exact depth that you need. But because of time, I smoothed it out, and then when it was almost dry, I put another coat over it where I still didn't disturb the thin set that I went over the top of. So we added a little bit more. And I've also went through and I started putting on this membrane. And you can see over here I already did this wall and I already did the ceiling. And I'm going to kind of go over this with you, or I'm going to go over this with you and show you what we're going to do here. Now this is a membrane that is going to make this shower waterproof, and it also works as an anti-fracture membrane, which means if there's any movement in the tile, that the tile will not crack, the grout joints will move with, or the tile and the grout joints will move with the movement in the walls. And so I really like to use this for that reason, and mainly because it's a shower and I want it to be waterproof. Now I went all the way to the ceiling, and I actually did the ceiling too. There's not going to be any water that gets up there, but moisture and stuff from the shower when it's going, it can seep through that grout joint. I mean, the tile, water isn't going to seep through if it's a non-porous tile, but water will seep through those grout joints. Now typically the water hits this back wall. If you aren't in the shower and the water's running, it will hit the back wall, probably up to about here. As soon as you get in the shower, water starts splashing around everywhere, and what happens? It gets all over the place. So that's really why I like to mainly do this, and it just makes me feel safer about the installation with mold and mildew, and I just would recommend that you do that. Okay. So I had one of these cross joints right here, and I didn't fill that last night. And one of the reasons why I didn't, or the corner joints, the only spots where I did fill in the corners is where we needed fill. That's where I put some thin set. Now what I do is I went through, I kind of scraped all the walls already, so we're ready, is I just take some of this membrane and you just paint it right into those joints. And this is my second coat on this one. And you just want to keep doing this until you fill it up. Now these butt joints, if you put thin set on there, you end up getting a little hump, and that's not what you want. So this works really good for filling in those. And then where I had these joints where they beveled down, I did fill those yesterday. You see me do that. And then the corners, the same thing. You can see I put my first coat on, but you can see there's still pinholes in there. Now up on the ceiling, I did put 2 coats, and I still got one spot over there and over there that needs one more coat. Basically, you just get it in the corner and just paint it in. And it'll suck it up in there. And I just really like doing this, because I know that I'm not going to have any issues ever with the shower as far as moisture goes. I'll get another coat up here in this corner, right in there. You can see those pinholes are filling in nicely now. Now I didn't come down this corner at all yet, and most of this was buried. This tape was buried with the thin set, so when you got the thin set on there, it really does cover that really nicely in one coat. I'm still going to do a 2-coat just to be sure, but now that I got the corners with my brush, now for the rest of it, I can just take a roller and a paint pan. Okay, I gotta find safety glasses. Oh, I got them. Okay. Now I'm just gonna get it on my roller nice and thick, and I'll just come and I'll start going with it and just paint it just like you're painting. Now, there's lots of different options for this type of membrane. Lots of different varieties, lots of different colors, and I just think that it's just what you prefer. As far as an installer goes, they're all very good quality. I know there's that most of the home improvement stores sell one that's red, and that one is a good one. I used to use that one a lot, but I just have a hard time with color, so I stopped using red. But I just get it on there, and really you want to get a good coat on there. Pretty simple. It doesn't take too long to dry. I'll get a fan rolling in here so that it dries quick. Looks like I missed a spot right here. Let's get that off. So that's really how you do it. Now after this dries, what I'm going to do is I'll come back over it again, and won't use as much the second time around. And I want to make sure that I roll the other direction now. And that'll just really make sure that you get all those holes filled in. And then you can go around where your screws are and just use your paintbrush if you want to do that before, and just hit them with your paintbrush. I kind of already did this in most of them, but just fill them in with your paintbrush and then just continue to roll.